You good to go?
I'll call this meeting to order. Would you like to take roll, please?
Yes. Ms. Knapp?
Here.
Mr. Ringgold? Mrs. Faust?
Here.
United States which stands one nation for liberty and justice for all.
Is there any, we have public comment. Are there any comments from the public? All right, come on up, Jen.
Good afternoon, Jen Kagi with the Delaware Public Health District, and just a few updates. We do have a resource available if you guys are doing anything for the solar eclipse that's happening next year, whether there's going to be temporary campgrounds, food permits, so I'll leave that with you. And, feel free to call us, talk to any of our sanitarians if you need any information regarding that. We also have purchased some sunglasses that I don't know how they're going to distribute those yet, that you can use to watch the eclipse. So a little bit of info on that. And then we also have a class that we're promoting at the Delaware County Library, the Powell branch. And this is a low-risk drinking course for adults. So one of, we are considered the healthiest county in Ohio, but one of the health issues that we do have is binge drinking. So we're promoting this program. It's a 2-hour course, and it's just to help minimize risk when it comes to binge drinking. There's an incentive if you participate, and I'll be sure to give this information to Sydney, and she can get that either in your newsletter or out on social media. Do you guys have any questions?
What, it's a class about binge drinking, is that what you're saying?
Yes, and it's about just minimizing your risk. I mean, we're not saying don't do it because we know that's not realistic. And so it's really to how to do it safely, sort of like harm reduction, which is kind of what we teach when we're talking about opiate overdoses. How can you use safer, knowing that, it's just not realistic to say, don't do this.
Yeah, there's been a big increase in binge drinking since COVID, right? The shutdowns and the our people, from what I read.
I mean, it definitely increased. I mean, it's kind of been high for us, but we did see a spike definitely after COVID. I mean, having your afternoon wine hours and being stuck inside, we definitely saw an increase in that. So just trying to get a hold of it or ahead of it. So
When is the health district advisory meeting? Do you have any idea?
it is in December. Let me get the actual date. I have it. December, not December. I'm sorry, March.
There's still, okay.
Yes, yeah, it'll be in March at our new building. I'll make sure that you get the invite. I did pass. I think
I sent it.
Michelle had given me that you were going to be on the district advisory council, so I passed that along to our admin. So we'll make sure you get that invite. All right.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry, as far as the solar eclipse event or day, the township does not have any plans to have our own event, but it's our understanding that Alum Creek will be having something there. But as far as public safety in our roads department, we've been taking measures and having those meetings with those that are having events in the surrounding areas, but we're not having our own events. Okay. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you, Jen.
All right, is there other, more public comment? Any more? No? Okay. Next, we have general announcements. Are there any announcements?
I have a general announcement.
Go ahead.
There'll be more information to come, but the Preservation Parks of Delaware County has started to release its 2024 project plans. And I think one of those projects will be opening the first phase of McCannum Creek Park, which will be next to Friends Orange Church. So I believe once the initial opening for that park section occurs, the church has been graciously allowing park participants or people who would like to use the park to use their parking lot. But there are plans for the park district in the northern section that I'm talking about to have parking built eventually. But I think they'll start with some trails to go through that section of the park, and then they'll also be looking at building out other park amenities in the future. But I just wanted to let people know that there will be more information to come on that.
Oh, when's it supposed to open, do you know? Soon?
I think it's soon. When we were at CVB last week, the Community Volunteer Board, one of Tony Benishek is on the board. And I think the last thing they're waiting on is like a sign that like, here's where the path is and here's where, what little map kind of a thing. So my understanding is the path is done. We're just waiting on signage.
Good. Oh, so that'll be exciting. That's a beautiful property. I'm so glad they can save it.
Yeah.
Lots of trees.
And I guess I have one comment. I was appointed by Delaware County Commissioners to the Public Defender Commission. So I am the only non-attorney member on the board. So my term, thank you. My term started December 21st and it ends October 1st of this year.
Okay, what does that entail?
Well, I just had my first meeting last week.
I think that's
what we were talking about was more budgetary stuff, which is kind of my thing, which was good. So that was the point of the first meeting, just watching their budget proposal. We looked at their budget proposal and how they were planning to operate the office this year, the number of attorneys they have, approving their staffing plan, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
For the public defenders.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep, I'm excited.
Yeah, I've never actually heard of that commission. That's pretty cool. Okay, any other announcement? Okay, and next we have our State of the Township, which our Administrator, Michelle Bonnie, is going to give.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. So this is our second year putting this State of the Township report together. And, as far as what this is all about, it really highlights all the achievements all these departments, all of our departments have done here at the Township. So I just kind of wanted to go over some of the ones that I think are worthy to share, and the rest of the achievements are outlined in the report, which you'll see on the website tomorrow. How we organize the State of the Township, it is structured by our mission statement and our core values. And as a reminder, our mission statement is to serve the residents by offering vital services to enhance their value of life and to support those who work and partner with Orange Township. And then throughout the report, the next few pages, you see that the list of achievements are divided up by our core values, which is community, pride, results, development, and stewardship. So I'm going to go over a few, and if you have any questions throughout, let me know. So under community, which is what I'll probably highlight the most, since that's the direct impact for our residents. We continued and expanded our subcommittees within our Community Volunteer Board. So we had a lot of these in place in 2022, but we really got to make them active and moving forward with a lot of good discussions. And those are our Public Safety Committee, our Parks Committee, our Land Use and Zoning Committee, Events Committee, and Veterans Memorial, which is our special project. I know we are looking at doing a fiscal somehow related committee this year, so you'll probably see that in the next report. We also continued our newsletters that we believe are pretty popular. So we did 4 mail-in newsletters by season and then 3 digital newsletters. We reintroduced our business appreciation breakfast that we'll continue to do on an annual basis, and that is scheduled for February 13th. Thank you. In the morning. We coordinated a township scavenger hunt, which I think we'll do that again, or?
This year, but we might do it next year.
Okay, so that was a good test run for events like that we may revisit in the future. We hosted a Shred-It Day, which was rainy and cold that day, but it was very popular, and it was Shred-It for the community and for our internal purposes. We hosted our annual holiday event at North Orange Park. As far as other events go, we hosted our very first township-driven 4th of July parade, so that was a huge success. We also hosted our first Founders Day Festival. Again, it's incredible how successful our events are and how many people attend, so we're really excited to continue on those events. As far fire department had 62 Touch-a-Truck events this year, or last year, excuse me. So again, we really try to highlight and get out in the community. As far as economic development tools go, we did implement complete our first tax increment financing tool here at the township. So we're excited to allocate funding for our infrastructure projects. We did pass a new JED, the Orange Worthington Joint Economic Development District. So that'll be another revenue tool for us in the future. Let's see what else I want to do. Oh, we created a permanent community gardens now located at Glen Oak Park. One of our biggest park projects were the phase 2 and 3 of North Road Park. That included 4 pickleball courts, parking lot expansion, shelter, and restrooms. I know there's some word formatting on the report I showed you, but I made those corrections for the website. As far as our trail projects went, we were able to do a portion of Main Meadows Trail and Lewis Center Trail phase 3. We have a couple trail projects this year too. We finished our disc golf course here at Township Hall Park, in addition to foot golf baskets. I think I'm saying that right. So we did some outreach. These plans aren't completed yet, but we did a survey for the active transportation plan, which the board will hopefully look into adoption next month. We hosted an open house for a zoning resolution rewrite. So a lot of big zoning projects that'll be in the works this year and hopefully near or completed. Our additional 2 millage fire levy passed. So again, thank you to the residents who voted for that. That was a huge win for the township as we can maintain our level of services for our community. Our membership in North Orange Aquatic Center had the second highest year of season passes at 5,041. Now I'm going to results. We established a community fund through Delaware County Foundation, and this fund is intended for events, donation, and sponsorship opportunities. So we're hoping to get some local business partnerships with us in our events in the near future. Our audit report for 2021 and 2022 found no non-compliance, internal control deficiencies, material weaknesses, or fraud. So basically, we had a great audit that time around. We also received the highest possible result for its Sunshine Law Star rating system report. Annual road maintenance, we did that on 20 streets. So hopefully, we will have a similar program this year. Highlights from our annual zoning report. We did 803 approved permits. That was a record high. Yes, yeah, record high in permit approval. That included 26 new commercial builds. And I'm going to move on to stewardship. I think one of the big wins, which will be highlighted in the newsletter, is that we earned $1,270,657 in interest through our investment strategy, thanks to our fiscal officer, Lisa Kraft. I'll highlight some of our grant awards that we received for roads and trails, which was Clean Ohio Trails Fund, $300,000 for Lewis Center Trail Phase 3, Ohio Public Works Commission, $500,000 for Bell Canyon Phase 1, which we received other grant funding for that, but that was a nice chunk of money to nearly complete Phase 1. So we'll finish Phase 1 this year and start on Phase 2. Community Trails Improvement Grant was $40,000 for Bell Canyon Phase 2 right-of-way acquisition. acquisition, and we did receive a recreational trails grant for North Road Trail connection. So we're able to continue our efforts in applying for grants and receiving them. And then the last thing on my report, which I think is a small but big win, is that we were awarded accessibility grants from Delaware County Board of Development Disabilities for 2 universal changing stations. We are looking at another one this year too. So, I think we're one of the first communities that have started integrating that with our new development and making it more accessible for all of our residents. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
And thanks to everybody here, because these are the guys who do all the work.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's great. We've really accomplished a lot over the last year. That's incredible. Next, we have agenda changes. Changes to the agenda.
I do have 2. So under the consent agenda, we'll remove the Dan's carpet purchase order. And then under zoning report, we will remove the scheduled hearing for the overlay district. And just to give you some insight, I think if you didn't see your email, well, I don't know if that went through yet, but we just received notice from the applicant that they need more time. So that'll be scheduled probably more early March timeframe.
Which one is that one?
That is the Parkway application
Okay.
in the overlay district. So those are the only 2 things I have.
Okay.
That's going to change all your number.
Yeah.
It's going to change all your numbering after 31 or beginning of 31.
So,
I'll remind you.
Yeah.
okay. So we're doing the consent agenda, right? Is that? I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-029, approving the electronic record of the proceedings from the organizational regular trustee meeting held on January 3rd, 2024.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-030, approving purchase orders, then and now purchase orders, and blanket purchase orders as listed.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay, next we have the Development and Zoning Report. Mr. Duffy?
Good afternoon, trustees. Starting off with our zoning hearings and meetings report. So we did have a work session yesterday evening with our zoning commission for the Parkway Plaza overlay application. As Ms. Bonnie said, I think based on the feedback that they received last night, they are going to be making some changes to their plan, and they wanted some additional time to accommodate that and try to get things right. So we will look to touch base with them in a few weeks and schedule that hearing at a later date.
Robin, did we have community participation at that one, like
We
residents?
did. We had probably 20, 25 people show up last night, so.
Were they given an opportunity to speak, or was it just?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I was encouraged, the applicant did express an interest in communicating with the residents further and try to get direct feedback that way, so.
Thank you.
And then tomorrow evening, we do have a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting with one item on the agenda that is both for a monument sign and then wall signage for the proposed CME Federal Credit Union on Artesian Run. We will also have a zoning commission work session next Tuesday, which will be a work session to go over the draft zoning resolution. So we will begin starting our review with the zoning commission before we launch an official adoption process. I'm expecting that we obviously will not get through all 300 some pages of the draft text with them, so this will probably be the first of a few hearings. And then we do have one more item on the zoning report, which is a tabled application, which is the overlay application for the proposed storage facility at the corner of Gooding Boulevard and Corduroy Road. I do not have any updates on that at this time. However, we are looking for a motion from the board to authorize the signing of conflict of interest with our attorneys, Brocious, Johnson, and Griggs, who also represent the property owner in other legal matters. They are not involved in this case, but should there be a meeting between our legal counsel and their legal counsel, we as well as the other party need to sign this waiver of conflict of interest.
And what were the main concerns from the residents from the overlay application? Was it the cut-through traffic to their neighborhood?
For the Parkway?
Yeah.
Yes, I would say traffic was the main concern, which I think is a valid concern. And there were other issues brought up as well, light pollution, sound, smells. But I would say traffic is the main
Were
concern.
there any solutions that were provided or suggested for that?
Not at this time.
No.
So they will, as part of that, they will have to go through a traffic study with the Delaware County Engineer's Office. So that is another item that.
Okay, and they haven't done that yet?
They have not.
Does that happen before it comes to us?
So the overlay text actually allows them to complete a traffic study after the development plan is approved, but it has to be submitted to us at the township before any zoning permits are approved for the buildings.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, make a motion to approve resolution, let's see,
It'll be 31.
31, okay, 24-031, authorize Michelle Bonney to execute a conflict of interest waiver concerning overlay application RCOD 23-02.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay. And next we have operations report, Mr. Bowers.
Good afternoon, Board. The operations report tonight is the recommendation to proceed with an agreement purchase for SIMS, which is Cemetery Information Management System, that between fiscal and operations we'd like to move forward with in an attempt to kind of enhance our efficiencies and modernize our cemetery operations.
When I looked through this, it looked like we were getting the version that was going to have like an online searchable database.
Yeah, a much more interactive product that would be beneficial for any folks who are involved with or have relatives in the cemetery. It's a very inclusive setup that will really allow us to expand our operations and provide more information to the community.
So I can, if I'm looking to see if a family member was buried and find out where their plot was, I should be able to.
And with some additional details, with some additional data behind it as well, and eventually photos of the headstones as well.
Great.
But it looks like it'd take about 4 months from start to ready to roll out, right? It's an in-depth process.
Adding the photos and some of the GIS layers and some of the aerial maps might take a little bit longer, but there'll be some components will be ready much sooner than others, but it'll be kind of an ongoing process. Yeah, and we don't have a dedicated cemetery person, so we'll kind of get jammed in with some other projects and kind of we'll dedicate some time to it intermittently, so it won't be a, full speed ahead, just one person focusing on that project. There'll be a little bit of both. Some of the data and the records that we have in cemetery are, say, incomplete might be the best word to use. So there might be some missing data we need to go find, which is why I'm a little reluctant to give a good time frame. So I think we might search for some data that may or may not exist from old records. Absolutely.
That's great. I make a motion to approve resolution 24-032, authorizing the Director of Operations to accept the contract for cemetery information management systems and authorize the issuance of a purchase order.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. All right, next we have fiscal officer report, Ms. Kraft.
Nothing. I was just going to mention the interest, our interest earnings at about $1.27 million, which Ms. Bonnie just mentioned. The other thing is we have bank rec for December complete. It's in the draft form because we won't finalize it till we flip the years, which will be sometime next month. So, but we didn't want to make sure you guys had access to at least see kind of what December looked like. So, that's all I've got.
Okay. Okay, great. Next, we have the administrative report for Ms. Bonnie.
Yes, thank you. Just 2 items for today's meeting. The first is to accept inventory reports for all departments. This is just an annual thing that we have to do and submit to the county for their record. So the inventory reports are in your backup item, and it has addressed any new equipment or things that we purchased for last year. The second one is just recognizing January birthdays and anniversaries, and there are a lot, so bear with me. Birthdays, firefighter Warren, January 3rd, our payroll specialist, Patty Lewis, and firefighter Forrest Dill on January 11th, firefighter May, January 15th, firefighter Renzetti, January 17th, firefighter Richard, January 17th, assistant fiscal officer. I did it this time. Todd Toby is today, January 17th. Firefighter Hiley, January 20th. Firefighter Shaw and firefighter Williams, January 23rd. Public Works, James Hobbs, and fiscal office assistant, Leanne Newman, January 28th. Did you hear that one?
Yes, I did.
Anniversaries, Andrew Koenig. I did it? Okay, great. 1 year on January 3rd. Congrats. Firefighter Booth and Firefighter Shaw, 2 years on January 12th. Our trustee Erica Faust is 2 years on January 18th. Hooray. Firefighter Alba, 2 years on January 26th. Fiscal office assistant Leanne Newman, 5 years on January 14th. Our medical director, Dr. Yamarick, 6 years on January 1st. Myself, Michelle Bonnie, 8 years on January 11th, which it's been a journey, and I'm really happy to be here. So thanks. Firefighter Lieutenant Lyon and firefighter prevention David Smith, 17 years on January 31st. Firefighter Spires, 23 years on January 10th. So that's all I have.
Wow. Okay. Next we have.
I'm sorry, Snap. I do have one action item under the administration
go ahead.
report, and that'll be resolution 33.
33, okay. I make a motion to pass resolution 24-033, accepting inventory reports as annual inventory and directing the township administrator to file copies with the township fiscal officers.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay. No old business or new business, right?
I don't have any.
Okay.
Work for fire.
Oh,
Did I miss fire? Mm-hmm. Chief,
Do you
would you
have
like to give your fire report? Sorry. Oh, there it is at the bottom of the page. Do you have anything to say?
I just wanted to put out there that to keep one of our captains, Captain Miller, unfortunately experienced a great loss, personal loss. So please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. Unfortunately, his wife tragically passed, and we're having a funeral tonight. So just please keep that in your prayers. So.
Okay, next we have executive session. I make a motion to pass resolution 24-034, enter into executive session.
I'm sorry, and Ms. Knapp, if you can read
Read the whole thing, like. Executive session to.
On the next.
Consider the compensation of a public employee or official. And invite to attend Ms. Kraft, Ms. Bonnie, and Mr. Kremetzer.
Yes.
Okay. I heard a second from Mrs. Faust. So Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringgold?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. And make a motion, resolution 24-05, return to regular,
3-5, sorry.
24-035. Return to regular session.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Is there anything else?
Nothing else? Okay, thanks, everyone.
I make a motion to approve resolution 24-036, meeting adjournment.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Meeting adjourned.